Assalamu alaikum, mi fambul, Misralinian fambulem. Mina Amadou Bari Asidona Canberra. Today, Friday night, the 10th of April 2020. I don't usually can make a video or audio that much, or put on social media. Although I can do, yeah, but me not a regular man on social media. I just decided to make this short video. Hopefully it will be longer than what I expect regarding what is happening around the world. We no need for make a mention in name. Everybody know about what's Naditin right now. I dey make this video because of there is one word where they can use inside this big thing where they happen around the world when they say pandemic. Pandemic, what I look for in meaning at the dictionary, it means something where you don't pass mark. Where you don't pass mark, it in all the regions them. So I say, okay, as a Sierra Leonean, make a look back. Waiting we can classify in Sierra Leone as pass mark rather than this tea and no more in the palm. So to my own surprise, I can realize most of the things that way people like you take for granted in the other parts of the world, na Sierra Leone, it fits that description the way they say pandemic. For example, if you talk about child marriage, na Sierra Leone, a pandemic. Because according to the statistics when I look around, Sierra Leone rank 19th in the world where child marriage is, as I can say, is pandemic. Corruption is pandemic. Out of 180 countries then, they say we the 149 or something around that. That's not acceptable. So corruption is pandemic. If you look at crime statistics, armed robbery, political thuggery, we all know it too much, a pandemic. If you look about drug addicts, the mafia, they say there are 1 million drug addicts in Sierra Leone when are 7 million. So that can also fit the category of pandemic. Education, the illiteracy rate is of pandemic proportion. They say 32% of adult male literate. And if we go to antenatal mama and sisters, it's even lower. It's about 22 or 24% female literacy. If you look at the energy sector, electricity, 10 to 12% of our urban areas then get electricity, 2% of the rural areas. So that's also a pandemic situation. If you look for hunger and starvation, more than 50% of our population live under our own national poverty line. That's another pandemic. If you look at the infant mortality rate, out of every 1,000 picking away them born, 78 they die. That also is a pandemic. Health and sanitation, if you look at the life expectancy rate, that is something we're proud of. People they die early, that's alone. That's also not a pandemic. The rule of law, justice, equality for all. Now another pandemic area we need revisiting. The rule of law, I couldn't get beaucoup in the measure. Sierra Leone, we did very low. If you look at rape, of course, we all know, even the president, the current president, may God guide and protect him, he declared a state of emergency, because of rape, how it be rampant. So that speaks volume for itself. Tax evasion, the people that we know they pay tax na salon. Then beaucoup, we need a clamp down. That's a pandemic. If you look at, I'm not like for talk about this, another elaboration on tribalism and regionalism. It's pandemic. If you look about the road safety, road accidents, the death what happened on the road, it's a pandemic situation. It fits the description pandemic. Overcrowding as alone a pandemic. Something has to be done about it. Clean water, pipe-borne water, don't they hit pandemic proportion for a long time. It also need to be addressed. If you look about mining, the illegal mining, the amount of illegal mining where they go on, it's a pandemic situation, free for all. The illegal fishing where they happen in our waters, our rich waters, it's a pandemic. If you look at the big one, deforestation, our environment is dying. It's a pandemic. I remember growing up with the oil tobacco company where they cut down trees then. They makot, take go them back canoe area then. Pandemic, something needs to be done about that area. And another big one, unemployment. Don't hit pandemic proportion. So I just say for share this, the coronavirus, of course, within the class A pandemic, I just decided to say, make a look at Salome, becoming a Salome man. We get a lot of them pandemic thing then we need addressing. And we ask of the government, those in authority, make them do something about them pandemic situations in the way some of them are self-inflicted or put on themselves. How to address that? So far so good. One of the pandemic things them about corruption, we see what in the government do towards that, how it does strengthen the anti-corruption commission, and we believe say government will go interfere inside anti-corruption, the effort for curb corruption, and we believe say the anti-corruption itself will maintain independence, no sacred cows, as we already hear. We don't want those things to happen. We want anybody we then bring into the anti-corruption commission. We don't only want to see justice done, we want to be confident that justice will be done in the best of our country's interest. So far, the strategy and the mechanism where the government put in place for just one of them pandemic situations in there, when a coronavirus, COVID-19, we know say they can bear fruit. We say thank you to the government first, and foremost, we say thank you to the people where they abide by the rules where the government don't implement. We know say it's not easy, but as they say, no pain, no gain. We believe say the people will continue for persevere, and the lockdown then go happen, the restrictions, until God pull this Baloa. Now we hate just like how he pulled the mudslides and how he pulled Ebola and how he pulled the war away from we. This back it go happen. I see a lot beginning they go get water during the lockdown, then they kick it in, they beat there. It's very sad. Next time we may appeal to government rather than take $400,000 or 4 billion leons and put them into helping people where we say we don't know how it be. Take that money there. Buy enough rice, subsidize the rice. If lockdown they come, ensure say nobody know hoard the rice. Take that 400,000 there, you put it inside the rice market, subsidize them heavily, let the rice go down, let everybody go before afford one bag of rice. So Mina Amadou, tonight, the 10th of February, Friday, na Canberra, let me just want to share the experience with una, my brothers them, my sister them, my mama them, my uncle them, my auntie them. I love una all. We pray for Salon, for make Salon go rise. Let we pray for any government who is in office, make it succeed. A nation cannot thrive on borrowed brains. Education one of the foundations. And then when you have an informed society, most of them pandemic situation, one of the flow-on effect of education is to eradicate them. And we need for pray, and pray to God, and for we lead us them, for let God guide and protect them. I love you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.